I've just been asked to work on a new account. It's an amazing brand to work on, and I'm being put on the team to begin work. But this team is notorious for late nights, working weekends. I'm grateful for the opportunity, but do I just have to fall into line and work like they do?
It's a really good question, and it's definitely a tricky scenario where there is this sort of established way or the established reputation of how this team have been operating and the way they're going. But the reality is you don't need to do that. You don't have to do that. You can absolutely categorically deliver quality of work without having to work late every night and all the weekends. So my advice would be to show them that, to actually go, you know what, I can deliver the quality of output, which is the only thing that really matters, right? It's the work as in the output that matters. And that's for me as a creative director, business owner, everything. That is the thing that matters. It's the end result, the output. And so if you are capable of delivering the quality of output which is required without working those nights and without working those weekends, then bring it on.
How do you deal with that though because there's a certain camaraderie that comes about, isn't there? Of like, you're all in this together. There, people are staying back, people are coming in on Saturday. Like how do you, because that gets quite awkward then, right? How do you deal with that kind of sort of conversation?
Yeah, look, it's a very good question, and I have been on the other side where I'm there sitting with my team, and in fact I'll tell an anecdote. Working on a pitch years ago, and we'd been working, for days on end. We weren't efficient. I wasn't running the team as efficiently as I could and should have been. Hence, we were in the office on the Saturday, and then it was Sunday afternoon. And one of our team members who hadn't been with us came into the office, but just to pick up some bookshelves that were being given away. And so we're all there trying to work on this pitch. And this guy came in, picked up the bookshelves, and buggered off. And I was fuming. I could not. And we spoke to him later. I was like, mate, how can you even do that? And he was just like, whatever. And so that is really tough. I suppose it depends on ultimately that culture needs to change. And so I don't know whether the person asking this question at what level in the hierarchy you are. If you have an opportunity to shift things, then I'd be saying, look at why you've got everyone. Why is everyone working all the nights and weekends? They don't need to be, and how can you do it better? If you're further down the chain, it's a tricky one, because you have got to balance that being part of the team and keeping the team together. I don't know. I'm not doing a very good job of answering this one, I'm afraid.
No, but I think it's a really tricky one, isn't it? I mean, one of the things, I know something similar has come up in the past, and asking for a friend, is to make sure that you have control over you, right? Like, you may see it, you may not be able to change the way the team works, but you might make a decision to go, you know what, as much as I can control, I'll do this for a certain amount of time because of this, but I'm in control of how long I do it for. And then if you need to move on, I think you can choose to move on as well. But it's that kind of, I think the more you feel like, oh, this is just the way it is, and so I've just got to, behave like that and be like everybody else as well, then you start to lose your kind of, your control over yourself. And you mentioned before around North Star and things like that. It's ultimately like, what do you believe in, and how do you want to be able to work?
I think that's absolutely right. It's ultimately be true to yourself. Because the thing that I would say, and I mentioned it before, is there's been periods of my professional creative career where I have worked days and nights, and it was great. It was great because I was working that hard, because I was loving what I was doing, and it was really important to me, and it was really exciting. And I have had great late nights, funny, hilarious times with various colleagues sitting there, which I wouldn't want to change that. So actually, all coming together to work on something really hard for a period of time is great. So I wouldn't suggest anyone should dismiss that and go, we should never work late. No. But it's, if you are being dragged outside of what you feel is right, then it becomes problematic.